Hello, this is your WWF Superstars April the 25th, 1992 review. So here we go. The opening contest was the former World Wrestling Federation champion, the Nature Boy Ric Flair, and he took on Ron Cumberledge. Flair was accompanied by Mr. Perfect. He was on commentary for this match. More on that in a minute. But Ric Flair did win, and he won with the figure 4. Comfortable victory. Standard match for Ric Flair. Woo! The next match was Kevin Kruger, who took on the British Bulldog. Again, another standard. Most of the matches on Superstars generally were squash, and this was another one. This was no exception. So, David Boy, he got the win when he did the Power Slam. And so 1, 2, 3. Perfect was back on the commentary again with Vince for this. So, Bulldog with the victory. The remarkable thing about this match was that Davey Boy hair was being called out by Kurt. Jealous and things. The next match was a tag team affair between Bo and Blake, the Beverly Brothers, taking on Eric Collins and Mike Freedom. So, basically, the Beverlys won, and obviously they won by pin, but the thing coming out of this was they were feuding with LOD at the time, and they kept calling them the Legion of Sissies. Yeah, you can get away with that now. But yeah, no. No. And then afterwards in a little thing, they cut and Legion of Doom were going about how they were going to destroy the Beverly Brothers. Tell 'em, Hawk! But yeah, so there we go. Yeah, Bo and Beverly with Bo and Blake with the victory. Next match was George Anderson versus Shawn Michaels. Shawn, of course, led to the ring by the sensational Sherry, who was singing his theme song at this point in time. And Shawn won the match. It took him like a good 2-3 minutes to get his earrings taken off, but yeah. He got the victory, and he won there. He hit him with what would turn out to become the Sweet Chin Music, but at that time and point in his career, it was just a setup move. His finishing maneuver was the side suplex, which, in this occasion, poor old Mr. Anderson, he looked like he landed on his head. So, but yeah, they didn't show the pin, they just showed Shawn being smug. Win for the Heartbreak Kid. The next match was probably I would probably say it's definitely not the best match on the card, but probably the biggest match on the card, was Sergeant Slaughter versus the Brooklyn Brawler. And Sarge won this when he put the Cobra Clutch in, and that was all she wrote, Jack. So yeah, Sergeant Slaughter with the victory there. Yeah, it did. The next bit was an interview segment with Sid Justice. And Sid Justice was responding to remarks last week from the Ultimate Warrior. And Sid was saying that when we meet, the man that destroyed Hulkamania, that'd be Sid, would destroy the Ultimate Warrior as well, because he is the ruler of the world. The next match was a tag team match between Kent Carlson and Tom Stone, taking on the natural disasters, Earthquake and Typhoon. But you can't guess what happened there. Yeah, they got dismantled. Earthquake and Typhoon with a victory. He did the aftershock, and then Typhoon with the tidal wave. The 1, 2, 3. The natural disasters possibly heading to another match with Money Inc. There are ads in this program also for the WBF, which is the World Bodybuilding Federation. Less said about that, the better, to be honest. And the next match was the Berserker versus the Undertaker. Except it never happened because the bell rang, or didn't ring in this case. The bell never rang because Fuji tried to take the urn, or took the urn off Paul Bearer. And then Undertaker tried to stalk him, as he did. And then like Berserker started beating him up. So the match never started. At one point, the Undertaker was piled over on the outside after Berserker pulled off the mats outside the ring. Ow is what I would say to that. But yeah, so there we go. That hurt, and then he got up, and the match never happened. So yeah, unfortunately, that would have been the main event, but it wasn't the main event because it never happened. But yeah, that was your WWF Superstars, April 25th, 1992. Nothing of any note actually happened in this. It was just some matches, and Vince and Mr. Perfect talked, and then the credits rolled. One thing I want to say about the Berserk Undertaker thing is, at one point, so they got him back in the ring, and then the Berserker tried to stab him with his sword. Yes, Drew wasn't the only one that had a sword. He tried to stab him with his sword. It never happened. So, yeah. There we are. But yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. You know who you are. But other than that, I will see you next time. This has been Will Nitro, and you're glad I am. Bye-bye.